One, two, 1, 2. Let's go, let's go, let's go. This is Lawrence D. Adams. This is when spirituality and the game combines. You have the thinking class. Let's get it today. Let's get it. Shout out to everybody in the chat room. Let's get it going today. I see you dropped in. We may have a special guest today. If he comes up, we get him on here. But let's get this crack-a-lacking today. Excited. It is Wednesday. What's going on? Shout out to the brothers. Shout out to Trav. Shout out to Jay Maltz. What's going on to Wade? Shout out to all the brothers in the chat room. Everyone's listening around the country, around the world. You listening to Lawrence D. Adams. When spirituality and the game combines, you have the what? Thinking class. And if you don't get it, it is your own as fault. So let's get it today. Let me get this banner up right quick because I didn't get to put up so you know where you are. This is the thinking class. Thank you. Appreciate that, Sweet D. Appreciate that, Trav. You know how it is. Shout out to everybody that's here today. Today is gonna be real good. I'm gonna get to the point. I'm gonna cut through it. I had a great conversation, and hope my brother gets to come up. With one of my dudes I've been knowing since. We had to be at least 13, 14 years old back in junior high school. And it's a great conversation we had. Well-established man. He's doing his thing. I appreciate him. Great conversation behind the scenes. And I always want to bring up a different perspective and a different way of looking at things. And so I want to make sure we get to in the thinking class, it's about learning different people's perspectives and ways of seeing life. Because if you look at life only through your lens, you're going to miss life, or you're going to miss how the world really is. And so it's great to have this conversation that I had with him because it gave me some insights that I really needed to hear, and it confirmed some things. And then I trust what he said because we've been knowing each other for such a long time. What's going on? What's going on, Fierce Soul? Man, just put on a little something. You know, it ain't nothing new. You know, you ain't nothing new. Nothing new, just true to it. But we're going to talk about the quiet storm of depression that a lot of men go through. And I do got some solutions in my sleeve. So hopefully when he comes up, if he comes up, we're going to segue into what he's going to share. And then we're going to segue right into the answers. But a lot of men are in the quiet storm of depression and don't even know it. Don't even know it that they're dealing with depression. And we define depression, and we first let's get this clear. You know, I'm gonna talk about game. So don't even come in there. Oh, you're talking about game. Game simply is strategy, point A to point B. Second of all is understanding human nature, male nature, female nature, and understanding that. The next thing we're gonna talk about that you realize you got game is that you are the one who controls the chessboard of your life. Plain and simple. So, but when we talk about depression, I realized that a lot of men, and I went on my morning walk today, then yesterday I didn't go on my morning walk, but today I was going on my morning walk, and it really hit me that a lot of men are in the midst of the eye of the storm when it comes to depression, and they don't even know it. They put on a smiling face every day, and they walk through life with regrets, hurts, disappointment, but they're silently depressed inside. They're silently depressed inside. They're silently going through life. No one's aware of it. They go to work. They come home. They eat the same meal. They watch the same TV show. They may pop a beer. They might get something to drink, or they might, whatever they may do. They may go to one outing with their friends, but secretly, this man is dealing with depression. And the question is, or the thing that we don't talk about, especially on these streets, is that a lot of men don't have a place where they can go, where they can talk about their depression or the things that are bothering them. They don't talk about it because they are so engulfed in living life. The expectations that are put on man, that you got to be the best, that you got to provide for yourself, you got to do this. That what happens is a man never has a place where he can decompress. Let me say that again. A man never has a place where he can decompress. Sometimes even going into the church arena can lead a man into depression. I know y'all weren't expecting that one, but it's the truth. Sometimes going even into the church, it becomes a place, instead of a place of release, it becomes more of a place of decompression because he has no one he can really talk to. So many men suffer in silence. They suffer in the midst of the storm in silence, only looking for a place. And John will talk about this. We talked about this many times, where he can be happy, where he can express himself freely. And I'm realizing that a reason why a lot of men are depressed, especially this segues into everything I want to talk about. Reason why a lot of men are depressed, they don't know, number one, what they want. Let me say it again. They do not know what they want out of life. See, it's interesting because everything around you is telling you what you should be, what you should do, who you should date, who you should deal with when it comes to dating and when it comes to life. But no one's taking the time to ask the little boy inside of the man, what do you want out of life? There's a story told of a man who had grown old. He was in his 70s, late 70s. And he had kids, and the kids would come and see him. And all his life, he made sure he took care of his wife. He took care of his kids. He took care of everyone else. He made sure everyone was good. He made sure they had the best college and everything like that. But he neglected a dream that he had inside of him. He always liked tinkering with toy trains. It was some of the things that was fascinating to him when he was a child. And so what happened was they realized that their father, everybody came to see him, the sons and his daughters, and even the grandkids. What's wrong with granddad? Why is he acting like that? And they realized, wait a minute. Dad always talked about trains or toy trains when he was little. And so what they did was they ended up getting him a toy train set that he can put together. And something inside of him began to awake and he began to come alive. It was like the little boy that was trapped inside of him began to resurge or come to the surface, and he became his true self. The same thing is told about many men. They have not come to find out what really sparks their fire. And the reality of it is, and y'all better get this, the reality of it is a lot of men, the reason why, I don't know, Wade, should I even say this? The reason why a lot of men are secretly suffering in depression, and y'all better catch what I'm about to say right now, is because they are not valued and they have not valued themselves. Let me say that again. The reason why a lot of men are secretly in the place of depression, because they don't feel valued and they have not been valued by the people around them. And I'm going to be real specific, whether you like it or not. And I'm talking about value by women. They don't want this, man. They don't want this. They want this patty cake. They don't want this kind of thing. They have not been valued by women, the women around them. They have only been looked at it as a utensil or a tool for a means to get to where they wanted to get to. And so a lot of men have retreated and say, and it's throwing a lot of men because of their dealing with certain women, not all, because we're talking on YouTube, because everybody think we're talking about all women, certain women. And it's taken a lot of men into a spiral of what? Depression. Taking them into a place where they don't want to deal with life, and let alone they don't want to deal with another woman. They're in a quiet storm of depression. They have gone through life and they have did everything they needed to do. They got the good job. They got the money. They got the house. They got the car. They got everything together. But yet they feel, or they have experienced, not just feel, they have experienced what? The lack of value from the women or the woman that he wants to be with. So a lot of men have retreated into their cave. And what happens since they retreated into their cave, they have now don't want to deal with anybody. They don't want to deal with certain things in life. And I think of a story of an individual in this book they call the Bible, you know, the story, where this guy was fighting and things like that, and he was beating up everybody, and then ran them into a cave, and the men and the other people had killed all the wives and the kids. And this man who was the soldier of him, David was his name, the people almost wanted to turn, and the men wanted to turn on him because they realized, wait a minute. We did all this. Our wife's gone. Our kids have been taken up by the enemy. What we gonna do? David had to in turn begin to encourage himself in order for him to encourage the people around him. What's going on? So a lot of men are in the quiet storm of depression, and they're sitting right next to you. Now, the thing so dangerous about men that are in the quiet storm of depression, you do not hear the tears or see the tears that they are crying. You do not see, nor do you hear the tears that these men are crying. So even though you might see them at the gym, you may see them at the grocery store, you might see them at different places, you don't see the tears because we, you know, in our culture, we have so conditioned men that is wrong to shed tears. So they shed tears on the inside. They moan and groan on the inside because of the pain and the hurt and the disappointment and the trauma that they have gone through. And not realizing that that many men, and I'm talking to the men today, are in a storm. I know, don't come on here. I know women have gone through stuff. And I understand that. But today we need to give voice to the men who have been silent for so long, who have suffered in the storm of life and have never, ever, ever opened up and say, hey, I'm crying on the inside. I'm dealing with something on the inside. I'm depressed or I'm compressed. So when we think about depressed, we also can get the word compressed. We're pushed down to a level. And in the words of Kara's one, to the last pronoun, we're down to the last molecule of who we are, and we tired. So we're the world and the women and everybody expect us to be on the top of the hill every day, but we can't be on the top of the hill every day. We need a place where we can what? Decompress from depression. We need a place where we can decompress from depression. And if you look at depression, it normally, when we look at it, according to the definition or something we can talk about, is a lack of expression. Many men don't have a place to go, a safe, much as people think men don't need a safe place, men need a safe place that they can go where they can talk freely and say, hey, man, I went through that too. My child did this too. Hey, this person did this. This woman did that to me. They need a place where they can say, they need a place where they can be vulnerable, but it also has to be a place where they can trust. So we have to, that is so important. A lot of men, let me repeat it for Ted, because he said in the chat room, are depressed or decompressed. They're like taking all the air out of them and they can't breathe. They're on they can't even breathe through this life because life has taken the air out of them. Women have taken the air out of them. Relationships have taken the air out of them. And no one has ever given them voice to say, hey, brother, let me breathe life back into you. And a lot of men, the life has been taken out of them because of the circumstances of life, because of the relationships of life, because of the money, jobs, social, economical reasons. A lot of men are depressed. Don't let that smile fool you. Don't let the pretty clothes get you. Don't let them fool you because they got the Gators or because they got the nice car. They are in a place of decompression or depression. They might even have the girl of your dreams on their arm, but they are depressed. They may even have the job that you want, but they are depressed. They may even have the church or whatever you're doing in the community, but they are secretly depressed because they are decompressed. And all men need is a place where they can breathe, someone can breathe life back into them. So it's the quiet storms that many men go through that they do not talk about with anyone else. And what happens is, since they don't talk about it, they suffer in silence. If you knew how many men I have talked to and the women who are dealt with these men who are suffering with depression and is undiagnosed and is untalked about, it's amazing. I'm not going to call it a disease. I know everybody want to call it a disease. I'm not calling it a disease because I believe that there's a cure. What's going on, Joe Blas? What's going on? I mean, not Joe Blas, but Jonathan W. So a lot of men need a place, almost like Cheers, where everybody knows their name. But let me hone in a little bit closer, and I hope my buddy comes up. Let me home in a little closer because I want you to get this. It is in these states that we call United that a lot of men are depressed because, and I'm emphasizing again, it's because of the lack of value that they feel they're not getting from their jobs, from their homes, from their families. And most of all, and let me say this, whether you like it or not, whether you spam me or would think I'm crazy or whatever the case may be, it is this, is because the women don't value who they are. The women do not value who they are. So some men, I know y'all may not like me, may not agree with me, but it is what it is. They want to go to a place where they are valued. I think we don't talk about this because a lot of men say, well, forget it. We don't talk about this. Yes, I am an advocate for GAME, game. I can talk game around you and give you game and run game right on you at the same time. But do you understand that if we look at this in the numbers game, the value of men in the United, we call these states, is 0 to none. 0 to none. If I'm telling a lie, please, brothers, let me know in the chat room. Let me know in the chat room. Am I lying or flying? Let me know. Let me know. Put something in the chat room. Put a fire sign. Put a stick figure. Put whatever you got to do. Something. Let me know that a lot of men, one of the root causes of their depression is because they don't feel valued for themselves, but they don't feel valued by the women that they want to deal with or the women that they have dealt with. They feel like they've been taken advantage of. Very good point. Not playing the devil's advocate with the following statement. Most men don't know their own value, even know how to put it on display. That's why we don't know. Most men don't. That's why we That's why we that do know must encourage and teach those who do. And I'm completely with you. Completely with you. And what happens is, if a person doesn't feel valued, or a man, let me say this, emphasize, does not feel valued, guess what? And if he doesn't value himself, because we always go within, yes. Guess what happened? It can lead him down a spiral down into depression. We have a deficit, like there's a vitamin D deficit. There's a deficit of men being valued in these states that we call united. I don't care in the social media. And if a man said something and speak his mind, he's called a misogynist. But when a woman does it and says something derogatory about men, guess what happened? Is we don't talk about her. Oh, she just expressing herself. There's a deficit here. And a lot of men are walking through life and they have zipped their lips and they have closed their heart, only to be men who are like in the example of the why did this slip my mind? I'm thinking about it. The Wizard of Oz. They have no courage. They have no brains. They didn't even go there. And that's where a lot of men are at. They are secretly in the storm of depression. They're thank you. There are the walking dead through this life. Forget about smelling the roses. All they smell is poison, crap, BS from everything around them. And I want to paint this picture clearly. On top of that, people validation can get depressed real quick because the person who wants to feel validated to the person that they don't care about them. Correct. Very true. So we got to really think about this. But I really want to swing it a little bit. I want to swing it a little bit and say there is a cure. There is a solution. And the best thing that a man, M-A-N, I ain't talking to the women today, the man can do is to begin to talk about what is bothering you, what is irritating you. Have you ever went to the beach, and you had your shoes on, whatever the case may be, and you leave the beach and you walk it around and you got that little sand in your shoes or in your sock or wherever the case may be, and then every time you walk, it just sort of irritates you. And after a while, you sort of get used to it, like, I got to get that sand out of me when I get to the car. So many men have sand castles in their shoes, and they have been comfortable walking with a piece of sand or a piece of rock in their shoes that their skin has formed around it, so it becomes a part of them when it was never designed to be there. That means you need to get rid of what's been irritating you, what's been bothering you. You have allowed it to become to depress you, compress you, depress you, decompress you, instead of expressing what is going on with you. Conversation I had today was good with my brother. He left and he went out to Colombia. And I know this whole travel, everybody, the gamers, guys who PUAs and this one against that one and fighting against that one. I don't care. What you do with your fellas is your business. I don't care. I know it's a whole infighting, or who's against this one, who's against that one, and who doing this. I do not care. I do not care. But I will say that he went there, and he went there to Colombia, group of guys, and he had a great time. He had a great time. He was able to experience beautiful, let me say this, beautiful women who treated him and valued his masculinity and him as a man in Colombia. who took time to wash him up. Let me emphasize this. I ain't gonna, wash him up in the bathroom, in the shower. You know what I'm saying? Who took time and was there for him. Do you think he was depressed there or when he came back from Colombia? Please let me know in the chat room. Was he depressed when he was there experiencing tens and how they treated him, or when he came back to the United States? Stop dick watching, please. Yeah. I just want to know. Somebody let me know. Was he depressed when he came back to the United States, or was he depressed when he left, when he was there? Please, it's not the business to police another man's violence. Come on. How was he when he? I just want to get everybody on the same page, because I'm bringing the point home. When he came back, or when he was experiencing femininity and experiencing a woman that was interested in him? Was he depressed when he came back or before? You guys are all right. His perspective began to change, because this is what we don't talk about when it comes to this whole travel, everybody get into a fighting and everybody all this kind of stuff. You're dealing with a different culture that's different from the culture in the United States, first of all. Second of all, you got to realize that men run the show in the other countries. Here, we're in the fight of who run the show in this country. And for men, and whether people like it or not, men at the end of the day don't like that, and it's not to put down women. I know everybody think, well, you're putting down women. You saying women ain't nothing. No, I never said that women were not nothing. And I'm going to give another statement that I said before, and I'm going to stand by the statement. So you experience a different culture, but you also experience a different way that the women were brought up to take care of the man or of men, let alone foreign men. So the value is completely different. So don't get caught on that men go down there so they can trick. Are there tricks to go down there? Yes, there are tricks to go down there. Do men go down there and trick? Yes, they do. It is what it is. Y'all if you ain't never been, you can't talk about it. But they go down there and do that. But I want you to get something that's beyond all of the infighting that's going on with the brothers on both sides. At the end of the day, men are saying they're longing for a place where they can be valued, where they can be appreciated, where they can experience the full blooming of their masculinity, and they can enjoy the full essence of a woman's femininity. Not saying that you can't get that here in the United States. So don't come over here. Don't say none. I ain't saying all the women are for the streets or all women are trash in the United States. So don't even try to come and try to twist my content or switch what I said in context. I'm saying this because a lot of men, if they don't have money to go to these different countries, second of all, they have to choose what to deal with the women that are here. And let me make this statement very clear. I said was content before, and when we traveled and experienced some novel, and he was depressed coming back. Yup, see, yup. Yeah. A lot of men were depressed coming back. But let me say this too, because most people miss this point, and I'm gonna put up the video tomorrow. If you a simp here in the United States, you're gonna be a simp down there in the wherever you go. I don't care. Y'all can hate me. You can cut it, say whatever you want. If you a simp in the United States, you're gonna be a simp down in anywhere you go. And trust me, they will smell you out and will simp you to the simp hood. I'm just trying to help some people out. So you need game no matter where you go. That's one of the things me and my brother talked about. I said, brother, so I'm gonna ask this question, bro. Come on. He said, yeah, you need game down there, but it's different. Bingo! Strategies. You need game no matter where you go. Let me say that again. You need game no matter where you go. If you're in the United States, you need game. Now, you need game when you go down to whatever country. The problem is the game that you use in the United States is not the same game that you're going to use where? What's going on, Alfie? That you're going to use in other places. That's why you have to have that. Thank you, True Savage. Game is universal. So is simping. Pick a side. Bing bong. And let me say this because he brought up a good fact. Just because, let me say this for all the tricks and, Johns and everything like that. Just because you have money down in these other countries don't mean the woman gonna want to deal with you. Let me say this again. Just because you have money and you go down there to these other countries and you want to be on your tricking and simping and tricking and simping and sipping and tricking, don't mean that the women gonna want to deal with you. Or if they deal with you, they're gonna charge you top dollar because really you ain't together. I don't understand why people misconstrue game. Game is just human nature. Women choose who they want to deal with and who they don't want to deal with. Plain and simple. Culture or no culture. We're underneath the culture is what? Human nature, female and masculine nature. Get it together. Oh my God. Oh my God. That's bad when you can't pay for the box. Can't even pay. Yeah. Dude, I promise you. I don't care. You go down there. I asked him, I said, bro, come on, tell me, man. Tell me, Joe. He said, yo, you go down there, some men got to pay for this amount of money because the woman don't really want to deal with them. The women don't want to deal with them. Uncle Alan, let me give very clear. I'm talking from the experience of a young man I just talked to on the phone. The women don't want to deal with them. My granddad always told me a man make the money, money don't make the man. Right. Rich simps, poor simps, simps. Right. Simple. I don't know why we get this all. We don't get this. So this is the thing. I want you to get, what does that have to do with this? I want you to really get this. Because I'm bringing this all, I want to wrap this all again around. Because of what he experienced down in another country, and the women that he dealt with, guess what happens? His perspective of the women when he came back has changed. Everybody's looking for that place where they can be happy. Happy is a choice. And yes, it starts within. But doggone it, I want to start it within and I want it without too. But this is the part that we don't want to deal with it. Some men have been so conditioned to live in situations like what's happened in these states that we call united, that if they experience a woman that treat them well, they don't know how to deal with it. So you need game in everywhere that you go. Let me spill my water on that one. You game whenever. So what do a man do? What does a man at the end of the day, what does a man need to do here in these states called united? He needs to come and say, where am I not expressing myself to the fullest capacity of who I am? Why am I not experiencing the happiness of my life? Why am I not experiencing the joy of a relationship? The first relationship you need to have joy with is with yourself. Why am I striving and going back and forth in a relationship with someone who don't want to be with me or who don't value me? A man in the Bible, it says, what do you need to do? You need to examine your own self. I'm pushing for men to look in the mirror and say, what am I not expressing? What am I not dealing with? What am I allowing that sand in the rock? What am I letting that sand or that rock in my shoe that I have grown comfortable with, which is depression, things I'm not dealing with, to consume me? What can I change the narrative of my life? No one's going to do it for you but you. And you know, as I teach here, you must go within to actually to make it happen without. So you really need to dig deep into this. What must I do to express those deep things that has been bothering me? Some of y'all are comfortable dealing with pigs and not realizing that there's full-bred horses that you can ride on. Some of y'all are used to catching the bus when there's Rolls Royces with your names on it. Let me say that again. Some of y'all are comfortable sitting on the bus with everybody else, riding with everybody else who didn't wear deodorant and who did, when there's Rolls Royces waiting for you to sit your behind in. The depression that you may be going through, you need to go get examined. You need to go talk to somebody. You need to go you need to go talk to a therapist. You need to go get help. You need to find a group of men who you can trust with your secrets. You need to go get help. Too many men are clocking out. They may not clock out and hurt somebody, but they're clocking out because they begin to hurt themselves. I promise you, I know what I'm talking about. I can talk from this place. You know why? Because I have been in that place. I've been in that place when I wanted to give up, when I wanted to turn everything down. I didn't want to deal with anybody. I got tired of relationships going up and down, failures and this and like that. And I didn't want to express, or I was in a place of depression where everything looked like doom and gloom around me. But it is the moment where I had to pull, or someone pulled me and say, yo, bro, come out of that. Shake yourself. Shake yourself. Shake that dust off of you. Get that dust off your shoulders. And I begin to encourage myself as a man and to begin to be thankful. See, a lot of times what's missing, why a lot of men are in depression, because they're so focused on what is not working and the things that they could have had, could have did, who they could have been with. This happened and that happened, and they forgot how to be thankful. When you begin to get thankful for just the little things, breath, air, life, clothes, hair, you got no hair, clothes, whatever the case may be, 1 foot, fingernails, whatever the case may be. When you begin to become thankful for everything else, it begins to shift your perspective and realize, one of the things my dude talked about today, when he went there, it humbled him. Because the things that we take for granted here in these states that we call United, it's something that they deal with every day. Kids begging on the street for money. Toilets don't work the same way they work here in the United States. People on the highest, what they're going to make us at least $350, I think he said, is the tops of what they're going to make a month. $350. So you complaining Depression. I'm down and y'all gonna make me do it. Y'all gonna make me do it. See, y'all you complaining and I want to, these things ain't working out here. 350. That's all these guys be. That's how a lot of guys. When you realize, he said when he went there, he was humbled. Because what we take for granted here in these states we call united, these people live like that. They appreciate the little things. So many of our depression is tied up to our inability to appreciate what we have right in our life. You can go to the bathroom with no problem, push toilet paper down there. Some places they don't have that option. They don't have that option while you on your high horse and you depressed or hot water. They don't have the luxuries that you have. But here you walking around and you depressed and you can go out your house, go and you live in a complex and go swimming at. Make it make sense to me. So some of our depressions is our lack of appreciation for what we have in our lives. Some of our depression is tied into what we fail to see, what we appreciate in our lives. Y'all don't want that. Y'all want somebody to give y'all some fairy tale, not giving the real deal. So I appreciate my brother talking to me today, my good brother talking to me today. Share with me his experience of coming back from Colombia. And the thing he said, he was humble. They're only $350 ain't gonna do nothing for me in the United States, not at this point. $350 where I stay. My note don't even cost that much. Car note don't cost that much. Let alone where I stay. Food and everything like that. But we got the nerve to be depressed because we ain't got the things that we want. So I'm switching up on you. You have the nerve to be depressed about what you don't have, and this ain't going right, and this is. Go somewhere, go to a different country and see how happy those people are with little. See how grateful they are. See how thankful they are. See how much they really appreciate life. You ain't appreciate the problem is you ain't appreciating life. And I know the whole thing with the dating. I understand. Let me say this, and I'm gonna say this. You may not like it, and may not agree with it. I don't give a rat's tail. If she don't appreciate you, she got to go. Stop dealing with many of y'all depression and trying to change. Don't try to change them. Don't try to change these women. Don't do it. I done told y'all before. Don't try to change them. Don't. That ain't your job. That ain't your job to change them. Your job is to be the best doggone version, hell of a man that you can be. If they don't appreciate it and you worked on yourself, yes, you need GAME, you need game. But if they ain't want it, there is a place. And there are women here in the United States who will appreciate who you are. Wow, good point, Jonathan W. Two good points. Y'all got this. Our depression has been manufactured by social standards of what successful life is. Dude, we can drop the mic there. I can go home and I can just shut this whole stream down. Bam. And then True Savage came right behind her and says, when she don't respect you, she rejects you. Come on. And then they come back again. A successful life is the one you live your life every day and you get to walk this earth. Come on. So come on, you guys are getting it. Is when you become grateful for the life that you have right now. It may not be the perfect life. It may not be everything that you want, but gratitude will elevate your, I know it sounds cliches, but I got to say it again, plus it rhymes. Gratitude will elevate your attitude. And guess what happens? When you become appreciate yourself, here we go to esoteric. When you appreciate yourself, others will begin to appreciate you. So don't think you're going to go to another country and you don't appreciate yourself, that they ain't going to appreciate you first. I'm just saying. I know y'all don't want to hear that, but it's the truth. With that being said, you have no doggone excuse to be all in your head and be depressed when you begin to get thankful. I am thankful. I've been doing this a long time. I could get depressed as I see people pass what I'm doing. People who started yesterday and now they got numbers. But guess what? I'm thankful for the journey that I have built and the reality of realizing different perspectives that has made me into the man that I am today. Thank you so much, Renaissance. It starts putting yourself first. Thank you. And a lot of men have not put themselves first. And let me say that, because this is some real game. Let me see this game. This is some real game right here. She only gonna man, I don't know. Should I Renaissance? Let me know. Should I say it? Because I know you know this game. I'm gonna say it though. Let me know in the chat room, Renaissance, you want me to say this one. I gotta get ready to go. I gotta eat some watermelon before I get ready to work. Natural. Let me know in the chat room you want me to say this. This is it right here. Appreciate you, John the W, man. Appreciate you, brother. Let me say this. Check this game, and I'm gonna check this one out. Okay. She only put you first when you put you first. Let me say that again. She only put you first when you put yourself first. The problem is we've been told socially not to do that. And we think by putting our first self first that means that we are in some kind of way putting the woman down. No. A woman, I don't care what they say or how they put it, they want to be with a winner. They don't want to be with a loser. No woman wants a man that puts her on the pedestal. I don't know why people be getting that all twisted up. No woman wants a man that puts her on the pedestal to the point where he can't move. He's singing Toni Braxton. I can't breathe without you. He's singing all the love songs to her. It sounds good in theory. It sounds good on R&B. It sounds good on country. But at the end of the day, a woman puts you first when you put yourself first. Many of y'all ain't put yourself first. That's why you didn't get the woman who's putting you first. And that does not mean that you are selfish. That means that you are well aware of what you want and what you do not want, what you tolerate and what you will not tolerate. And at the end of the day, you have to go. You got to go. With that being said, let me make sure I get this message clear. You don't have to stay in the storm of depression. When you begin to get a life, when you begin to become thankful, grateful, and appreciate who you are. Time to reverse engineer hypocrisy of putting others before you at all times. Correct. Let me say this again. You can come out of the storm of depression like Jesus was when he was at the bottom of the ship or the bottom of the boat. And the disciples were going crazy. Oh, we gonna die. Bro, we gonna die. We die. I knew I should have went with this dude called himself Jesus. Who he think he is? Some kind of Messiah? They're crying and storming outside. Oh my God, I don't know what I'm gonna do. They crying and the storm is rising up. Jesus down there asleep. He's down there snoring sleep. I mean, sleep. Sleep. Jesus in the boat, in the bottom of the boat, sleep. I mean, he like, yo, turn it over. And finally, they go down there, yo, man, we go, Jesus, you don't know what's going on, man. We dying down here, bro. We dying, man. Bro, help us out, bro. Cuz, yo, cuz, come on, man. Wake. They trying to wake Jesus up. Jesus, wake up, man. Wake up, man. Wake up, bro. What's going on, bro? What's going on? What's up? What? Devil out there? What's going on? Man, we about to die up in here. You sleep down here in this baby. Jesus, all right, man, chill, man. And put my little coat on right quick. Put my little hat on right quick. Comes from the bottom of the ship and comes to the top. He said, y'all couldn't do this little thing, man? Yo, peace, be still. And that's what every man must do. They must go and find the divinity, the God inside of them, where they're in the midst of the storm of depression, and every thought and every situation is coming against their storms. And then the disciples, or the parts of you, appreciate that, brother. And the disciples, or the other parts of you are going crazy. Your emotions, your thoughts, and the this one is saying this one, and that one's going that way, and this, and you need to tap into the divinity, the God inside of you, and allow it to say peace to your depression. Be still. Let me say that again. You need to tap into the divinity, the God inside of you, God, man, inside of you, and say, peace, be still. Thoughts. I need y'all to come into subjection of who I am and say, you need to chill. Calm yourself on down. I am not about to be depressed. I am not about to be down. I am not about to give on life. I am not going to do self-deletion. I am the king, the master of my life. You need to tap into the divinity, the God inside of you, and tell your situation to peace, be still. Cause the disciples in your life to say, oh, man, dog, we were tripping, man. We were tripping, man. I don't even know why we were tripping like that. Shoot, we had Jesus all alone in the bottom of the ship, or in the soul of your life. Catch what I'm saying. You have no excuse today not to be in depression. Tap, like the disciples, be able, wise enough to go to Jesus, whether you believe in Jesus or not, whoever you believe, I don't care. Get the example, tap into the divinity inside of you and say, peace, be still. Do like the fines on happy days. Be still. This is the message for today. If nobody ever appreciates you, appreciate yourself. If no one ever loves you, begin to love yourself. If you can't find what you're looking for here, go where you are celebrated and not where you are tolerated. And if you feel like you ain't being celebrated here in these states that we call united, go where they will appreciate you and celebrate you. Y'all didn't heard what I said. So that eliminates the fighting between them men and these travel bros against the game. Whatever. Go where you are. Go. With that being said, this is Lawrence D. Adams. This is when spirituality and the game combines. This is it. Let me get this right here. This message from John. I'm dropping 5 for this message. This one spoke to me today. We appreciate you, Iron Sharpens Iron. Oh, man, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you. You need to hear this one. Good. Thank you guys needed to hear this one. Appreciate this. Appreciate that. Cash App, Super Chat. Let me get the dance up. Let's get that dance up there. Let's get the music. Make sure y'all like. Y'all like and share this one. Let's get it going. I gotta find the music right. We get that music. Let's get it rolling back. 1, 2, ready. Oh. Don't get mad. Just leave. Hit it. We out of here. Shout out to the brothers. Shout out to my brother. Call me this week. Let's go. Oh. Hey. Get it. You can't stop this flow. Woo! Yeah. LDA in the house. Let's go, 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 go. Don't get mad, just leave. Shout out to the brothers of the Thinking Class. Woo! Get it, get it, get it. Super chats, cash apps, like, share, comment. We out of here. Gotta go, gotta go. Oh, don't hurt them. Don't get them. Don't hurt them. What? Don't hurt them, L. Don't hurt them, L. Peace. Be still. We out of here. Shout out to the brothers, the sisters. Y'all ain't ready. See you Friday. Let's get it. We out of here. Peace. Let's drop the other beat. See if we can drop the other beat. One. DJ LDA in a place to be. Let's go. Peace out, yo bucks. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Can't stop. Woo! Come on, be out of here, big bro. Yeah. If you're sipping in another country, you're gonna sip in this country. Wait, look, I gotta go. People don't get, you need game everywhere you go. Game is not predicated to women. Game is who you are as part of life. I don't know why these guys don't get that. Game is just life. You need game everywhere you go, because you can go out the country and act a dog on food and you're gonna have no life. Oh, I gotta go. Sorry, gotta go.